For attaining the highest score on the end-of-cycle physical fitness test for Company E, scoring the maximum 300 points, is Specialist Gamaliel Rodriguez Montanex from Arroyo, Puerto Rico. For exceptional professionalism and dedication to the excellence and support of the accomplishment of the unit's total mission, the battalion recognizes Sergeant Roland Davis, the Supply NCO from F Company, 3rd Battalion, 13th Infantry Regiment. For demonstrating outstanding performance of duty while supporting the unit's training mission, the 3rd Battalion, 13th Infantry Regiment recognizes Mrs. Belinda Mitchell from Battalion Headquarters. For demonstrating outstanding performance of duty while supporting the unit's non-training mission, the battalion recognizes Ms. Cassandra N. Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 3rd Battalion, 13th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Santos.
Distinguished guests, families and friends, welcome to the U.S. Army Training Center in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And welcome to today's ceremony for the graduating soldiers of 3rd Battalion, 13th Infantry. I'd like to begin by extending a special greeting to some guests who join us this morning. Seated just to the left and behind us on the reviewing stand are 111 members of the Society of the 5th Division, a unit whose distinguished history includes heroic service in World Wars I and II, Vietnam, and Operation Just Cause in Panama. These gentlemen, the forefathers and role models for those of us in uniform, are here to celebrate their 86th reunion this Labor Day weekend. Later today, highlighting the reunion, will be a dedication of Red Diamond Field, currently used by 1st Battalion 64's 1st Infantry, the Society's sponsor unit here at Fort Jackson. Please join me in a round of applause for the Society of the 5th Infantry Division. I'd also like to recognize another special group of people in attendance today. At this time, I'd like all veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces to please stand. Please give me a round of applause for our veterans. Standing in front and rear of the formations before you are the cadre members of all 6 companies of the 3rd Battalion, 13th Infantry. These drill sergeants, first sergeants, and company commanders represent the best of our Army. Their task is to train civilians to be soldiers and warriors in 9 short weeks. Well, short to the cadre. Soldiers out there probably think it's a long 9 weeks. But nonetheless, these cadre members are the technical and tactical experts in their field. Over 50% of them are combat veterans. They know what it takes to survive that first contact in combat. That knowledge drives them to demand the highest of standards and discipline in everything these soldiers do. They are every bit the true role models and professionals that you'd expect to be training the best soldiers to join the best Army in the world. Please join me in a round of applause for the Drill Sergeant Cadre of 313 Infantry. And last but certainly not least, the reason many of you have traveled so far to be here. Let's give a round of applause to the magnificent 1,263 graduating soldiers of 313 Infantry. I promise to keep the speech brief. Not sure how long the weather's going to hold on us. I want to take some time to give you an appreciation for what these soldiers have been through. Over the last 9 weeks, in absolutely blistering heat and alternating thunder and lightning storms, these soldiers have endured physical fitness training often twice a day, 13 sessions of basic rifle marksmanship, 4 modules of advanced rifle marksmanship, several obstacle and confidence courses, 3 field training exercises, 4 different live fire training exercises. They've completed 6-mile and 10-mile foot marches in full gear. They've been taught to understand and live by the Army values. And through all of the training, we've strived to inculcate in them the warrior ethos. It is a program of instruction of intense, physically and mentally demanding combat-oriented training. We attempt to push the envelope here, often asking much more of these basic training soldiers than we ever have in our history. We do so to meet the needs of a transforming Army. We do so to meet the needs of our nation. And we do so to educate, train, and equip these soldiers to survive that first contact, should the need arise. And so as we contemplate what these soldiers have accomplished, one can only marvel at how far they've come. Each of these soldiers has tested the bounds of their own inner resolve. Each has endured mental stress, demonstrated physical courage in the face of utter fatigue, and each has overcome occasional self-doubt to be standing here today. But should we really be surprised? Consider the life choice that they've already made by simply being here. Many at a very young age, in a world where many struggle for years to make that type of commitment, if they ever do at all. Consider that a large percentage of this class will depart here today and return home to begin their senior year of high school. Think of how they spent their summer, and think of how many of their friends back home spent theirs. Even more noteworthy, every soldier on the field volunteered to serve while our nation is at war. Nothing speaks better to one's character than that. There are few deeds I can think of as honorable as that. So it really is no surprise that all of you have made it here today. In closing, to the soldiers on the field today, we hope that you remember this moment. The memory of today should always be a source of strength for you, no matter where you go or whatever you choose to do in life. It should represent a benchmark in your lives when you committed wholeheartedly to something and saw it through. It should represent a time in which you were greatly challenged, but were up to the task. And for those of us privileged enough to be in attendance, today will forever represent a shared sense of pride that it is because of your sacrifice and selfless service that our Army remains strong and our nation remains free. Congratulations, and may God bless each and every one of you. Victory starts here.
Today's soldier is above all a warrior, adaptive, confident, and competent. As a soldier, you are totally committed to the warrior ethos, grounded in Army values, and are determined to destroy enemies of the United States of America and her allies. The United States Army Soldier's Creed embodies this commitment. The